I was saying that we are going to be dealing more with data modeling today. So far we've gotten the data set we are working with. We've also gotten the business requirements, and we've sort of cleaned our data to a good extent. We've looked at the data types, that they are correct. We don't have any missing data, and we've ensured that we've got enough data. We have everything we need to answer the questions, that we should be answering, So all of that's done. We need to now start to break down this data set, this sales data. We need to break it down and standardize in such a way that we can have other tables, such that this will be our fact table. This sales data will be our fact table, because that's where all of the events have been recorded, which is the sales. Orders have been placed here. But we need other dimension tables, the ones we'll call dimension tables or lookup tables. We need to build those, and we can build those from what we have within this data set. Okay, so I'm just going to close this, just so that we have a better, more space to view what we have here. And it's going to be a bit of an interactive session because I'm going to need your help. Let's have a look through at this data set. Which dimensions can we point out? Which sort of, when we talk about dimensions, let me dive deeper a little. We're talking about, okay, our facts table tells us about the what the business is about, the who, the where, the when, the why and the how of a business is recorded in a facts table. Okay, so but when we bring out each of these different descriptions that I've just said now, each one of those would form our dimension or lookup table. For example, the who, in this case, the customers, that is a lookup table. That's a dimension to this work. When, the when of it would be the dates, and the year. The what's the business about? We're selling products, so that's the products. The how, maybe where we've got channel, online stores, and catalog, or resellers, those are the hows of this business. What else? The where, that's when we talk about the region, city, country, the location part of the data set. So we are going to need to create tables to show each and every of these as a lookup table, have a look through this and let's point out which dimensions do we see within this data set. You can unmute and answer. And
we have channel.
We have channel, thank you. So we have channel because that's the how of this business. What else can we spot out of here?
We have product details,
which
will include the product name, product category, subcategory, and product category, really.
Yeah, so those are all going to be under the products. Yeah, we've got that. So that's two. I didn't get that, sir.
Got manufacturers. They are different manufacturers.
We've got manufacturer. Thank you very much, sir. We've got manufacturer. What else can we see?
And we got the region as well.
The region.
In terms of location,
region, city, country, location in general. We've got all of those. So we are going to build And we've got the date as well, you know. So we'll need a date table basically. So, but before we go on to date table, I'm just going to, as much as we need, I'm going to make a duplicate. And we've learned about duplicate and reference before, you know, in one of our videos, we've explained what the difference between those two are. In this case, I'm going to duplicate. Sometimes you might decide to reference, but I'll duplicate now. So we need quite a few as well of that, because we've talked about channel. So if we decide to use this, I'm just renaming that, you know. So a channel for this table. And the other one, if we call this products. Don't know why enter is not entering that one. Okay. And then we have manufacturers.
And I think we have brand as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking brand can go under products.
No, brand is the same thing with manufacturers when I checked. They are the same.
Is it?
So,
okay.
Yeah, each of the manufacturer is the specific brand they have, yeah.
Okay, so there's no difference between those two.
No difference, yeah.
Okay, so we might just go with just one of them then. Then we have the location or geography, or however we want to name that. The one for location. So region, should we say region? Okay, let's just carry on, and then we'll decide what we are doing with what as we go along. Okay. So all of that so far. If we go into channel, for channel we only need this column. Okay. Let me bring back our query setting so that we can see how that is recorded, the steps that we are going to be doing now. So we need just this. So I'm going to right click and remove other columns from here. And after doing that, since this is all duplicated, we need this table to be unique. Okay, so we are just going to remove duplicates, right click and remove duplicates. And that leaves us with just four attributes there. Attributes, four under this attribute. And then products. So this is where the products. So I'm thinking for products, we should have product name, and then their subcategory. So I've got my control held down, and the category and the subcategory and category. So and we can remove other. Okay. Now we are going to use the product name as a what's the best way to explain that? So, you know, the way we did here, it was just one. But in this case, so that we capture the essence of everything, okay? Let's go with
remove duplicate, right?
To remove duplicate, yeah. We remove duplicate, but on product name.
Yeah, and product name, yeah.
Yeah, because if I was to remove it from product subcategory, we'll lose out a lot of information from the name. Do you understand now? If I was to go product category and make that remove duplicate from there, you see we are left with just that many products names. So that's not right. What I want is on here so that we can capture every of the products, you know, that That's that should be captured. Okay. And then manufacturer is quite straightforward. Okay, one might decide, it depends on what you want, to include the two, but I'm just gonna go with one really. So remove other columns and remove duplicates from here as well, you know. And then geography, the most granular of this at this level will be city, isn't it? Is it city or country? Which is, yeah, city is the most granular, like the case for the product name, so that we don't lose any of these. So I'll remove duplicates on, let's pick what we need first, then remove duplicates on the rest. So remove other, and then go into city and remove duplicate. Does that make sense to us or not? What do we think? Have I got any contrary opinion to our?
Are we not meant to remove duplicates from the region?
Okay, so if we decide to remove duplicate from the region,
yeah.
Let's see what happens. Remove duplicates. We are left with just 3 regions, and that captures in its uniqueness would only leave us with just this many countries and this many cities, and that's not right. Okay.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
That's true.
So one has to be careful here.
Yeah, one has to be careful. I mean, to be honest, I'm just choosing to do it this way. One could actually make more tables, create more tables such that you have region, you have city, you have country, but it's good for all of them to be in one. Then we can join on the city. Does that make sense? So our join will be on the city when we when we get to where we are doing our data modeling, because now what we are saying is that city here is not repeated. So it is the one side of the relationship. Whereas in here, it is repeated. So that makes this the many. Okay. So for this channel,
Sister Debbie,
yeah.
I think what I want to suggest is, why not use the country? Because if we look at Europe, right, what that thing is actually saying is right. UK, Russia, they are all under Europe. America will be, US will be under America, and then maybe China will be under Asia. So if we want to capture the country, then maybe it's better to use the country, because definitely when you do Europe, Europe will be grouped normally, or the way to do it is either to group the countries under various regions, because Europe capture United Kingdom, Germany, and all those stuff like that. France, they are all under Europe. So that's why you only have 3, because they all other countries, most of them fall either on either one of those 3. So if we're looking to actually capture the country, then maybe we should use the country, or we do the grouping under the region first of all, so that we capture all the country. That's my suggestion.
I perfectly understand you, sir. So there's no one way. There's different ways that you can decide to actually solve this, to be honest. Yeah. Because I'm saying that we are joining on city, doesn't mean that we won't be able to analyze based on countries. We are still going to be able to analyze based on countries. But at the moment, what I'm trying to achieve in my data model is a simple star schema where we are not having snowflakes. We are not having region join city, then join country before all of that now start to join sales table itself. So I'm trying to keep just one table for all of the locations, for all of the different region, city, country. I want them all in one table, and the best way to have all of this information is to remove duplicate from the smallest of the information within that table, which is city. Because if I go with country, some cities would get lost in transmission. We saw that when we decided to go with region, when we removed duplicates on region, remove duplicates here, and we saw that we have just three regions here, and that's not capturing the essence of what this table should be capturing, because we have more than 3 cities. We definitely have more than 3 countries, as well. So, but if I'm doing it on the most granular of the information within this particular table, the most granular of them is city. So that is where I want to remove that duplicate and join. That is not to say that when I'm doing my analysis, I won't be able to analyze based on region or based on country. We will still be able to get those information out. Does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Right. So we have the right data types for them. If we have time, actually, as a matter of fact, after doing it this way, we'll actually still look at, because it's good to not look at this in a one-way direction kind of thinking. Okay, like I said, this is just because I want to achieve the simple star schema. If I don't mind snowflaking, we will actually see other possibilities where we'll have product name as one table, product subcategory as one table, product category as one table. In that way, we also have region as one table, city as one table, country as one table, and we will then see how all of this will join into the sales data. It will be different types of data model we have produced, and they will not be wrong. None of them is wrong. It is just the way that we are choosing to think about creating the solution for this particular question. So it's like saying that the way that I think of the solution to a problem is different from the way another person would think of it. Another factor that will determine which of them you are really going for is the future of the data. Most of the time it's good to start your data model very simple star schema, because what happens is over time, things start to get complex. As the business grows, you have more columns added to your data source, more rows added, So if you are already building in a complex manner, I hope we can still hear me. It's saying my internet connection is
No, we
unstable.
lost you for some seconds, just for some seconds.
Okay. So I'm saying that what determines how we build all these data models is the future of the work as well, the future of the project. Sometimes, or at the best of times, it's best to start simple star schema that we've always talked about, because as the business grows, more columns are added, more information gets added in. It gets complex at some point, but when we start simple, by the time we keep building on, then when it gets complex, it will be easy to handle, so to say. Okay, so let's check out how this is playing out. So I'm going to close and apply this. Let's see how this would play out in our data model. Okay, so that is all loaded now. I'm going to go straight, into the data model and see what has been done. I'll close this so that we can see that well. So we've got the geography, the manufacturers table, the facts table in the middle, the products table, and then the channel as well, you know. So, and this will tell us why it's called star schema, because it's like the fact table is in the middle, surrounded by all of this. You see how simple this looks now? It makes for good understanding, you know. So this is one way to build this, okay? So in another class, we will look at the other way, which is to actually split, like I said before, those that are splittable. We'll split them, you know, and see how we flake, snowflake, yeah, we flake them out. Or why not? Maybe we'll even have each and every one of them as a dimension table surrounding this, you know, as well. But we'll see how that plays out when we do it. But this is data modeling, our first data model. We are going to dismantle this and rebuild in the other way and see which is more effective, which we should actually go with. So I would leave us to, should I leave us to do our own date table? Because we should actually have a date table as one of our dimension table. Using the table code, I prefer to use the table code to build my date table. So using the table code, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. This order starts, so if I sort it ascending, it's starting from the 2nd of February, 2018. And if I saw that descending, so through 2021 to February 2021. So February 2018 to 2021 would be this lifespan, you know, of that date table that we are going to create. And that will be the extra table here. Okay, thank you very much for the reminder. That will be the extra table here. I would expect us to have done that before class tomorrow, because normally it's something that we have actually learned. But so far, with this data set, we have brought in data from the source. We brought data into this table from the source. We have cleaned it. We have done the data model, built our relationships in, you know. Data modeling is a very important part of our Power BI work, of any data work actually, but Power BI majorly, because how you model your data would determine how your DAX works, especially when we start to create calculations in DAX. It's going to DAX relies a lot on the data model that you have built in. It will determine how your calculations come forth well for you. You know, it will determine a lot of things. So building a good data model, or having a good knowledge of what to do when you're building your data model is very important. I believe there's a whole skill of it, a whole, we've got people who are actually employed to data model for data warehouses and stuff like that for big projects, you know, because it's very important. So they are not necessarily data analysts, but they do data modeling. Majorly data modeling is their work. So that's how important, and it's all this knowledge that they also employ in doing their work. And I believe that's all we've got time for today.